What if I told you there was a time in Hollywood when the biggest stars broke every rule, challenged every expectation, and got away with it, all before the censors came calling? Today, we're counting down the top 15 pre-code films that defied traditional morality, stories that shocked audiences, rattled critics, and helped shape modern cinema forever. Let's dive in. Babyface, 1933. Let's open our countdown with a film so bold that censors scrambled to cut it. Babyface. Barbara Stanwyck stars as Lily Powers, a young woman trapped in poverty, working in her father's grimy speakeasy. But Lily isn't one to accept her fate. After years of hardship and learning that the world rarely plays fair, she decides to forge her own path, no matter the rules she has to break along the way. What sets Babyface apart isn't just its daring themes, but how the film practically invites Lily to break with tradition. Guided by the philosophy of Nietzsche, Lily climbs the social ladder by making connections with powerful men in her workplace. The story pulls no punches. Every rung on her climb comes with its own price and hard choices. Stanwyck's portrayal is unapologetic, a woman who knows her worth and refuses to be a passive player in a man's world. The film sparked outrage not just for its content, but because Lily refuses to be shamed or punished for her ambition. The original cut was so provocative it was ordered to be reshot, but even the censored version remains one of the most daring, unfiltered looks at female empowerment in early Hollywood. Babyface stands as a true pre-code classic, a testament to defiance, resilience, and the challenge to outdated ideas about women's roles. Red-Headed Woman, 1932. Next up, Jean Harlow's star power shines in Red-Headed Woman, a film that made waves with its take-no-prisoners heroine, Lil Andrews. Harlow brings to life a woman who's smart, resourceful, and absolutely unashamed about going after what she wants, even if it means breaking up marriages or scandalizing polite society. Lil starts as a secretary but has her sights set much higher. She's willing to do whatever it takes to move up. And the movie delights in her mischievous schemes, never once suggesting she needs to be reined in. At the time, audiences were shocked by a character who so openly flouted social norms and who never had to pay the price for it. Lil's manipulations, quick wit, and brazen attitude were far outside what would soon be acceptable under the Hays Code. The result? An uproar from moral watchdogs and a cult following among those who loved seeing a woman in command of her own destiny. Red-Headed Woman paved the way for future stories about women who refused to be boxed in, and it proved that audiences were hungry for complicated, challenging female leads. Lil may have raised eyebrows, but she walked away with exactly what she wanted, a true pre-code victory. The Public Enemy, 1931. Moving into the world of crime, The Public Enemy offers a raw, unflinching portrait of the gangster era. James Cagney plays Tom Powers, a man born into poverty who rises through the ranks of the criminal underworld during Prohibition. The film doesn't sugarcoat his journey. Instead, it plunges viewers straight into a world where loyalty, betrayal, and ruthless ambition go hand in hand. What set The Public Enemy apart was its willingness to glamorize the gangster lifestyle, at least for a time. Tom's ascent is exhilarating. He's clever, daring, and even likable in his own way. Yet, as the story unfolds, the cost of his choices becomes clear. Cagney's legendary performance, including the infamous grapefruit scene, helped set a new bar for anti-heroes on screen. The film's frank portrayal of violence and its refusal to pass easy moral judgment caused concern among censors. Audiences, however, couldn't look away. The Public Enemy didn't just reflect the realities of its era. It questioned the very nature of success and the price of power. It remains one of the most influential films of the era, a blueprint for generations of crime stories to come. She Done Him Wrong, 1933. Welcome to the dazzling world of She Done Him Wrong, where Mae West commands every scene with a wink and a laugh. West plays Lady Lou, a brash nightclub singer in the bustling Bowery of New York City. With her quick wit and trademark style, Lou is a force of nature, flirtatious, confident, and utterly unbothered by society's expectations. What made She Done Him Wrong so controversial wasn't just the cheeky jokes or the suggestive banter. It was the way West's character controlled her fate. Lou is never a victim. She's always the one calling the shots. Whether she's outsmarting men or sidestepping trouble, she does it all with humor and a raised eyebrow. The movie is packed with memorable one-liners, double meanings, and bold moments that had censors clutching their pearls. Yet, it's that same irreverence that audiences adored. Mae West's performance shattered the mold for women in film, showing that being clever and independent wasn't just possible, it could be wildly entertaining. She Done Him Wrong is a perfect example of the fearless creativity that defined the pre-code years. Trouble in Paradise, 1932. Now, for something stylish and sly, Trouble in Paradise, directed by Ernst Lubitsch, takes romantic comedy to new heights of sophistication. The story centers on two professional thieves, Gaston and Lily, who fall for each other while planning a heist. But when Gaston is charmed by their wealthy target, a new love triangle emerges, leading to a dance of deception and desire. What makes this film so extraordinary is its mature handling of relationships. There's no black and white morality here, just complex people navigating attraction, loyalty, and temptation. The dialogue sparkles with clever wit, and the romantic entanglements are handled with a delicacy and intelligence that feel ahead of their time. Trouble in Paradise is a masterclass in suggestion and innuendo, with Lubitsch's famous touch making even the most daring ideas feel elegant. The film was so sophisticated it was later banned from re-release under the Hays Code, considered too risque for post-1934 audiences. It stands as a shining example of how pre-code films could be playful, smart, and utterly unafraid of bending the rules. Scarface, 1932. Say hello to one of the most notorious crime films ever made, Scarface. Paul Mooney stars as Tony Camonte, a gangster whose hunger for power and respect is matched only by his willingness to break any law that stands in his way. Inspired by real-life mobsters, the movie paints a gritty, violent picture of organized crime during Prohibition. Scarface pushed boundaries not just with its violence, but with its raw depiction of ambition gone wild. The body count rises, rival gangs clash, and Tony's world becomes a whirlwind of danger and excess. Yet, what truly shocked audiences was how magnetic the central character remained, despite his misdeeds. The film's infamous X motif, marking each of Tony's crimes, gave it a visual style all its own. Meanwhile, censors wrangled with the story, demanding changes and even delaying its release. Still, nothing could stop Scarface from becoming a legend. Its influence on later gangster films is impossible to overstate, and its place in film history is secure as one of the boldest, most daring works of the pre-code era. Female, 1933. When it comes to flipping gender roles, female goes all in. Ruth Chatterton stars as Allison Drake, the tough, no-nonsense head of an automobile company. In a world dominated by men, Allison is not just holding her own, she's running the show. She takes what she wants in business and in life, and she does so with a confidence that would have been unthinkable for a woman on screen just a few years earlier. The film follows Allison as she navigates boardrooms and personal relationships, refusing to be limited by traditional expectations. Her relationships are on her terms, and she makes it clear that she won't settle for anything less than respect and equality. This assertiveness caused quite a stir, with critics and censors questioning whether such a dominant female character was appropriate for audiences. Yet, female resonated with viewers, especially women who saw a reflection of their own aspirations and frustrations. The film's message is clear. Power, ambition, and independence aren't reserved for men. Pre-code Hollywood gave space for these stories, and Female is one of the finest, most fascinating examples. Island of Lost Souls, 1932. Step into a world of mad science and moral ambiguity with Island of Lost Souls. Based on H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau, this chilling film stars Charles Laughton as a scientist whose experiments on a remote island blur the line between human and animal. The creatures he creates, half human, half beast, are both fascinating and deeply unsettling. At its heart, Island of Lost Souls explores questions about humanity, cruelty, and the cost of playing God. The film's dark atmosphere and disturbing imagery led to bans in several countries. Critics were unsettled by its depiction of vivisection and its challenges to both religious and scientific authority. The film's reputation has only grown over time, now celebrated for its artistry and its willingness to tackle big, uncomfortable questions. Island of Lost Souls stands as one of the most haunting, provocative horror films of the pre-code era, a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves. Call Her Savage, 1932. Clara Bow takes center stage in Call Her Savage, a film that barrels through convention with wild abandon. Bow plays Nasa Springer, a rebellious young woman whose defiant spirit puts her at odds with society. The movie traces her journey through love, heartbreak, and scandal, never shying away from the chaos she leaves in her wake. What makes Call Her Savage so remarkable is its sheer unpredictability. NASA is a whirlwind. One minute she's the life of the party. The next, she's facing real consequences for her choices. The film touches on topics like troubled family histories, forbidden romance, and the struggle to find one's place in the world. At every turn, it refuses to let NASA be defined or diminished by others. Clara Bow's performance is electric, making NASA a character you can't help but root for, even as she breaks every rule in the book. The film's frank approach to taboo topics and its refusal to offer easy resolutions made it a lightning rod for controversy and a testament to the creative freedom of the pre-code years. Design for Living, 1933. If you think love triangles are complicated, try the romantic geometry of Design for Living. Directed by Ernst Lubitsch, the film stars Miriam Hopkins, Frederick March, and Gary Cooper in a daring tale of three friends who decide to live together, without worrying too much about what society thinks. The film's central relationship is playful and open, defying traditional ideas about romance and partnership. Rather than pick just one suitor, Hopkins' character chooses both, and the three form an unconventional but caring household. The arrangement is handled with humor, charm, and a surprising amount of honesty for a film made in 1933. Design for Living was considered so risque that it was banned from re-release after the Hays Code took hold. The movie's celebration of non-traditional relationships and its refusal to offer a tidy moral lesson set it apart from almost anything else of its time. It's a sparkling, sophisticated comedy that dared to imagine new ways of living and loving outside the box. 3 on a Match, 1932. Life's not always neat, and neither is the story at the heart of 3 on a Match. This hard-hitting drama brings together three women, played by Joan Blondell, Anne Dvorak, and Bette Davis, whose lives intersect in unexpected ways. The film follows them from school days through adulthood, showing how each is shaped by circumstance, choice, and fate. 3 on a Match tackles topics that were rarely spoken about in polite company: infidelity, addiction, and the pressure to live up to societal expectations. The characters' lives spiral in and out of control, with heartbreak, bad luck, and redemption all thrown into the mix. The movie doesn't shy away from showing the consequences of risky behavior, but it also refuses to judge its characters harshly. The film's realistic approach, combined with its willingness to tackle uncomfortable truths, made it a standout, even in the bold world of pre-code Hollywood. 3 on a Match isn't just entertainment, it's a slice of real life, raw and unfiltered. Murders in the Rue Morgue, 1932. Prepare for chills with Murders in the Rue Morgue, a film that blends horror and mystery in truly unsettling ways. Bela Lugosi stars as Dr. Miracle, a carnival sideshow performer obsessed with bizarre scientific experiments. The film takes inspiration from Edgar Allan Poe's classic story, mixing in elements of gothic horror, mad science, and dark obsession. What makes Murders in the Rue Morgue stand out is its willingness to embrace the macabre. The film is filled with shadowy alleys, sinister labs, and a sense of dread that builds throughout. Lugosi's performance is delightfully over the top, giving the movie an extra dose of menace. The film was heavily censored upon release, with many scenes cut due to their disturbing content. But even in its edited form, Murders in the Rue Morgue pushed boundaries, showing just how far filmmakers could go in exploring the darker corners of human nature before the censors clamped down. The Story of Temple Drake, 1933. Few films from the pre-code era sparked as much debate as The Story of Temple Drake. Based on William Faulkner's novel Sanctuary, the movie follows Temple, a privileged young woman whose reckless choices lead her into a world of crime, danger, and moral ambiguity. Miriam Hopkins gives a powerhouse performance as Temple, capturing her vulnerability and determination. The film's subject matter was considered so shocking that it became a lightning rod for those calling for stricter censorship. The Story of Temple Drake doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of human nature, showing how a single moment can change a life forever. The movie was nearly banned in several states, and its legacy as a controversial classic is still felt today. By confronting taboo topics head-on, The Story of Temple Drake helped spark the very movement that would end the pre-code era. Yet it remains a powerful, haunting film, a testament to the risks and rewards of telling stories without a safety net. I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang, 1932. Hollywood often romanticizes rebellion, but I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang takes a different approach, shining a harsh spotlight on the justice system itself. Paul Muni plays James Allen, a man wrongly convicted and sent to a brutal prison camp. The movie follows his desperate attempts to escape, highlighting the cruelty and corruption he faces along the way. The film's unflinching portrayal of injustice struck a nerve with audiences, and with those in power. Its critique of the prison system and its depiction of harsh treatment sparked real-world outrage, leading to public debate and even legislative change. I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang is a powerful reminder that film can be more than just entertainment. It can be a catalyst for social change. Its legacy endures as one of the most courageous, uncompromising films of the pre-code era, daring to speak truth to power when others stayed silent. Night Nurse, 1931. Rounding out our countdown is Night Nurse, a film that mixes suspense, dark humor, and a touch of scandal. Barbara Stanwyck stars as Laura Hart, a young nurse who stumbles onto a plot to harm her young patients. Alongside Joan Blondell, she fights to protect the children from a dangerous chauffeur, played by a menacing Clark Gable. What makes Night Nurse unique is its blend of gritty realism and campy fun. The hospital setting provides the perfect backdrop for intrigue, with Laura facing down threats both inside and outside the law. The film doesn't shy away from topics like corruption, poverty, and moral compromise, offering a refreshingly unvarnished look at the world. Stanwyck's performance is both tough and vulnerable, making Laura a heroine you can root for. Night Nurse is a perfect example of how pre-code films could tackle big issues and still keep audiences on the edge of their seats. If you enjoy this countdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories Hollywood doesn't want you to forget. Did we miss your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Your support helps us keep bringing you the most fascinating moments from the golden age of cinema. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep loving the movies that dare to be different.